guys, welcome to the last of our Tantra practices. If this is the first one you're joining us for, go back to number 1 and work through them in order. Now, like usual, we're going to get started lying on our backs. Lying down with your arms alongside your body. Legs dropping out to the side. Closing your eyes or looking down towards the floor if you prefer not to close your eyes. And just taking a moment to settle as you start to fully arrive in space and time. And today, like the second session that we did, we're going to start with a body scan, a yoga nidra relaxation. So I'm going to speak through different spaces within our body. And when I mention one place in your body, allow that space to soften. You don't need to engage and release. You don't need to do anything. But just imagine that part of your body is completely relaxing and letting go. Releasing through the left big toe. First toe. Second toe. Third toe. And fourth toe. Releasing through the ball of the foot. The arch. The heel, and all across the top of the foot. Releasing through the ankle, the calf, shin, and the thigh. Now the entirety of your left leg and foot is heavy, and it sinks deeper and deeper and deeper into the floor. Releasing through the right big toe. First toe. Second toe, third toe, and fourth toe. Releasing through the ball of the foot, the arch, heel, and across the top of the foot. Releasing through the ankle, the calf, shin, knee, and the thigh. Now allowing the entirety of the right leg and foot to be heavy as it sinks deeper and deeper and deeper into the floor. Releasing through the left thumb, first finger, second finger, third finger, and fourth finger. Releasing through the palm of the hand. the back of the hand, the wrist, forearm, elbow, and the top of the arm. Now the entirety of the left arm and hand is heavy as it sinks deeper and deeper and deeper into the floor. Releasing through the right thumb, first finger, second finger, third finger, and fourth finger. Releasing through the palm of the hand, back of the hand, the wrist, forearm, elbow, and the top of the arm. Now the entirety of the right hand and arm is heavy as it sinks deeper and deeper and deeper to the floor. Softening through the buttocks, hips, groin, pelvis, abdomen, waist, lower back, middle back, ribs, chest, upper back, shoulders, neck, throat, jaw, teeth and tongue, nose, cheeks, eyes, forehead, side of the head, top of the head, back of the head. Now the entirety of your body is heavy and it's sinking deeper and deeper and deeper into the floor. Just taking a moment to notice the fluctuations of the breath, where the breath is held within the body. The pace and the depth of the breath. And starting to slow it down. Stretch it out. Elongate the inhales. Exaggerate the exhales. Encompassing more of the body into the breath. Full body breath. Expanding on the inhale. Softening on the exhale. Growing on the in-breath and releasing on the out-breath. When you're ready, maybe bringing some movement into fingers and toes. You can turn the head from side to side. Maybe stretching if you wish, and then very slowly and carefully make your way up to seated. Now today we're going to take an observation meditation. So I'd like to invite you to sit back to back for this one, adding as much support as you need. You can sit with your legs crossed or however feels good for you. Try not to lean back. And if, when you're seated back to back, you're looking at a plain wall, then keep your eyes open and looking at that wall. But if there's lots of stuff going on in the room surrounding you, downcast your eyes towards the floor. And if there's still lots of stimulation on the floor, close your eyes instead. Now today we're just going to act as a witness. So keeping your eyes focused on one space, on one spot, and if the eyes are closed, finding a spot within the darkness. Allowing blinking to occur naturally, but keeping your eyes focused directly onto that spot in which you chose. And for this meditation, we're simply focusing the eyes in order to maybe focus the mind. And when thoughts start to arise, acknowledge them and then allow them to pass. Try to avoid getting caught up in the story of the thoughts, but just acknowledge them, let them pass, keeping your eyes focused. And maybe as time goes on in this meditation, the eyes start to become blurry, or different shapes might start to mold and appear. And if that happens, just know that's perfectly normal, and if that doesn't happen, that's normal too. When thoughts start to pass by, allow them to pass by without getting caught up in the story. And starting to bring your awareness back into this physical space that you're in. Blinking the eyes open and close a few times, maybe looking somewhere else than where you were focusing. Getting used to the surroundings around you. And when you're ready, start to make your way out of the lean and turn to face each other. So today you're going to thank your partner for going on this journey with you. And as well as thanking your partner, I'd like to invite you to tell your partner one thing that you've particularly enjoyed, or one thing that your partner's done that has felt nice, or that you've got energy or eroticism from. We're just going to give you a couple of minutes to find your words here. We'll leave you in silence, and then I'll cue you for an eye gaze after this. Okay. So we're taking our eye gaze next like usual, so holding hands, reminding ourselves that one person will be the giver and one person will be the receiver. You continue with the eye gaze throughout, you continue with the hand holding throughout, but energetically it starts to shift. Remind yourself to look in your partner's non-dominant eye. So if they're left-handed, you look into their right eye. Okay, let's get started. I'll let you know when we're halfway through, so you can swap. I'll be the giver first. Now keep the eye gaze, keep the holding of the hands, and energetically start to swap over. And when you're ready, start to release. And coming apart. So we're going to take Kegels. Today's Kegel will be a variation of all three that we've done. So I'll just talk you through it, and then as we go into it, I'll talk you through it as well. So the first one we're going to practice, we'll inhale. At the top of the inhale, we'll engage the pelvic floor, the perineum. We'll keep the activation as we exhale, and at the bottom of the exhale, we'll release. We inhale, engage at the top of the inhale, keep the contraction as we exhale, and then release at the bottom. We're going to take a few rounds of them. Then we're going to move on to inhaling, engaging at the top. Exhale as we keep the contraction, and at the end of the exhale, push out of the pelvic floor, the perineum. Inhale, engage, exhale, push out. We'll do a few rounds of those, and then inhale, engage, and as you exhale, we release, engage, release, engage, release, engage. Try to take 5 of them on the exhale. We inhale, engage. As we exhale, release, engage, release 5 times if possible. Now, if moving on to the next stage doesn't feel accessible, continue the one in which you're on. So you could stay on number 1 the whole time, you could stay on number 2, or you could try it up to number 3. You could always backtrack once you're getting tired as well, or take a few rounds of breath without a Kegel. That's always an option. Okay, so inhale, engage, exhale, release. Inhale, engage, exhale, release. Keep that going. Find your own pace. If you start to feel lightheaded at any point, then take a few rounds of a regular breath, and then join back in when you're feeling ready. Take 3 more rounds of this one. And when you finish your 3rd round, allow the breath to return to its natural rhythm and its neutral pace for a moment before we take the 2nd round. On the 2nd round, at the end of the exhale, we push out with the pelvic floor, the perineum as well. Let's give it a go. So inhale, engage at the top, exhale. At the bottom of the exhale, push out. Inhale, engage, exhale. At the bottom of the exhale, push out, keep that going. Getting that erotic, sexual energy flowing around the body. Kundalini, serpent energy. 3 more rounds. And when you've completed your 3rd round, allow the breath to return back to its natural rhythm and its neutral pace for a moment. And then in a moment, we're going to take our final round. This time on our final round, as we're exhaling, we release, engage, release, engage, release, engage 5 times of the pelvic floor muscles. Let's give it a go. Inhale. Engage. Exhale. Release, engage, release, engage, release, engage, release, engage, release, engage, release. Inhale. Engage, exhale, release, engage, release, engage, release, engage, release, engage, release, engage, release. Inhale, keep it going, find your pace. Try to stay with your experience of the breath. Really becoming aware of the energy as it's flowing around the body, zoning in. Take 3 more rounds. When you've completed your 3rd round, allow the breath to return back to its natural rhythm and its neutral pace. Just noticing how you feel. Noticing the mind, noticing the body, and the energetic body as well. And then coming back into the space when you're ready. Turning back to face each other once again. The receiver is going to stay with the legs crossed, seated down. And the giver is going to send the energy to the receiver by stroking along the body. And the receiver doesn't do anything but absorbs the energy. Doesn't give any energy out, simply absorbs it. So there'll be 2 different strokes that we'll do. The first one we start at the side of the head, and with the first 2 fingers start stroking down. And you can go as slow and as long as you want, or quicker, and repeat it more times. And you go all the way down the arms to the hands and the fingers. And then the second stroke starts at the front of the face, and you can go over the entire front of the body, all the way down. All the way down the legs, all the way down the feet. And then you can either repeat the first and the second stroke, or you can go round to the back and just go forward a little bit. And then from here, from the back of the head, stroking all the way down. If it feels awkward just doing the first 2 fingers, you could try getting the hand involved. You can try more pressure or lighter pressure, but ask your partner what they prefer. So start giving it a go when you're ready. Starting at the front of the face, starting at the side of the face, brushing down. Asking your partner how it feels, if they want less pressure or more pressure. Trying to find the resilient edge of resistance. So this is somewhere between it being a light touch that might be quite annoying, or a hard touch that could be quite painful. We want to be right in the middle. Asking your partner if they prefer more or less, slower or quicker. When you've completed, you go to the front, start stroking down. This time you want to get the body involved, so getting more of the chest and the abdomen, the sides, and then the parts you can reach on the legs, all the way down to the feet. And then maybe going round to the back of the body when you're ready. Starting at the back of the head and going down. Feel free to go at your own pace. You can go much slower than what I'm doing. Going down all the way to the body. And you're going to take 2 more rounds of the whole thing. Those of you who are receiving are simply just feeling the energy as the energy enters the body. And if you're giving, you're sending your energy through the hands, and see how it feels on these last 2 rounds to really send the energy to your partner. I'm going to do 1 more final round, so it's 3 rounds altogether. Whenever you finish your last round, you can just come to stillness before we swap over. When you've completed your 3rd and final round, starting to swap over. So the receiver sits with the legs crossed if possible, sitting on as much support as you wish. The giver starts with 2 fingers from the outside of the face, a bit gentle on the face, rubbing down all the way down the arms. Can you do it more stroking? And that's probably, that's it. All the way down the arms to the hands. And then on the 2nd round, go from the front of the face, and then encompassing as much of the front body as possible here. So you can do the chest, the belly, the hips, the legs, the feet, all the way down. And if you're starting to feel that the fingers don't really work for you, you can encompass more or less of the hand. And then we go to the back of the body. Starting at the top of the head, and then going down, shoulders and back, all the way down to the top of the buttocks. And when you've completed your round, you go 2 more times, so 3 times all together. And if you're the receiver, really focusing on absorbing the energy. And if you're the giver, really focusing on sending the energy. Go at your own pace. we're going to take our final round. But going at your own pace. And if you do finish before us, just come into stillness for a few moments. If you finish after us, that's fine too. Just noticing if you found it easier to be the giver or the receiver of energy. Just acknowledging that about yourself. So when you're ready, we're going to get ourselves in the next position. We're going to sit in the Yab Yum. So start to make your way there. If you remember the different variations we took earlier on in this course, trying to sound a lot. So you can sit on top of the person underneath, or you can sit with your legs more in like a scissoring position so there's less weight. Now in the Yab Yum today, we're going to breathe, but we're going to do a circular breath. What that means is when Alexis inhales, I exhale. When I inhale, he exhales. Now we're just going to do a couple rounds so you can see. So you're going to inhale. So 1, 2, 3. So we're breathing at the exact same pace, but we're doing the opposite breath. Now, whilst we're doing this, you might think that that's enough to focus on, and you might simply want to focus on the breath, and that's great. If you would like to have some imagery going as well, what you're going to do is on the inhale, the person who's on top, you inhale, imagine the energy coming up from your Muladhara root chakra, up and out of the crown of the head. And on your exhale through the crown of the base of his head, all the way down towards his groin. Inhale, it goes up. And exhale, it goes down. And then where's your imaginary line going? For you, it's opposite, isn't it? So which way is it going?
Same way.
It's not. So when Alexis inhales, he's breathing the energy down instead of going up. And then he exhales it up through me. So that we have this fluid loop. Inhale, it goes down through Alexis. And exhale, it goes up. Now, if the imagery is a bit too intense, just focus on the breath. But if you can have that circular imagery going, connecting you two together, then imagine that as well. If you start to feel lightheaded at any point, again, just return to a natural breath and refine this breath when you're ready. Let's give it a go. Decide who's going to exhale first, decide who will inhale. It might take you a few times to get that pace right. So you exhale, I'm going to inhale, 1, 2, 3. when you're ready, allow the breath to return to its natural rhythm and its neutral pace. And just acclimatizing for a moment. And then the person who's on the bottom is going to be the receiver first for our massage, so they're going to lie on their fronts. So this one is similar to last week's, but instead of just focusing on the back, we're going to try to do as much of the back body as possible. Shuffle forward a little bit. That's it. We'll go about 5 minutes each, so you can start with the feet, traveling up the legs and the buttocks, and then the backs, the shoulders, the arms and the hands. Reminder that you only have 5 minutes, so try not to spend too long on one area of the body, unless that's what your partner wants. Your partner wants focusing on one specific area, then that's fine too. Feel the receiver. Remind yourself to start asking for what you would like. So if you want more or less pressure, if you'd like a different stroke or in a different place, or if there's something that you don't like or feels a little bit strange, remember to ask. Ask for what you want. Just got a couple of minutes left, so try to get yourself equal. If you've just done one side, do the other side. If there's somewhere that you haven't yet touched, start to make your way there. Got a minute left. starting to wrap it up when you're ready and starting to swap over. So the giver becomes the receiver becomes the giver. And if you're starting to give, you're trying to do as much of the back body as possible, the feet, the legs, the arms, the hands, the back, the neck, the shoulders. Got just about 5 minutes to do the body. I'll let you know when you've got a couple of minutes left. Listen, I don't like it there. Not on the thighs. We're just about 2 minutes left. So if you've only done one side, make sure you've done the second side. Doing any spaces you haven't yet touched. Last minute. Put my hands in. And starting to finish off. And then we're going to finish today's practice by lying on our backs, top and tailing. So this is called Lover's Scissors. So this is similar to what we did earlier on, a few weeks ago. But from here, what we're going to do is thread our legs on top of each other and then get really, really close so your buttocks and groins are touching. And then bring your foot onto the floor, and you can straighten the other leg and start to straighten your legs forward as well if that feels comfortable. So you're kind of threading one leg under, one leg over, so that you're making contact with the groins and the buttocks. The legs can straighten as much as you feel comfortable. Try to make space for your arms. Your arms can go wherever they can fit. They might rest on the belly or maybe out to the side. Getting a point of connection through the Muladhara root chakra. Allowing your eyes to close. And we're using this position as our relaxation, so adjust it as much as you need to get comfortable. Eyes closed, so looking down, letting go. And starting to bring your awareness back into the space. You can slowly unravel the legs, bend the knees in. And then coming up to seated, slowly and carefully, however you know how. And when you reach seated, giving your partner a hug and a kiss and saying thank you for your practice. Thank you. Thank you for joining us for the whole of our Tantra course. Bring the hands in prayer. Namaste.
Namaste.